Welcome to 2Cents FC. I'm your host, Amobi Okugo, with my guy L. Each week, we'll be discussing topics from around the soccer world and giving you our unfiltered thoughts and opinions. This week is really special. We got top 25 players in the U.S. Men's National Team Player Pool, the shortlist for the 2020 Golden Boy Award, Puma's gamble on Neymar, a lot to talk about there, and American investment in European soccer. This week, we're also joined by our friend of the show, who's been a guest of the past, Ty Phillips. Tyler, how you doing today?
I'm quite well, man. I'm in your beautiful city right now, and it's quite well.
Nah, it's great. It's great. So catch us up, since we've last had you on. Like, what's been going on?
Yeah. Actually a lot, actually. The biggest thing is I actually just stepped away from my current full-time job, so I can concentrate on some of my passion projects and a new venture. And some of the passion projects we've worked with Zach Steffen's Voice Now to launch kind of some like give back initiatives in Columbus. So it's been a busy couple of weeks. It's been really good though. So.
No, respect. That's what we love to hear. And quick, because you're from Columbus, what are your thoughts? You think they're gonna get supporter shield? I know we spoke offline.
Yeah, no. I would say right now it's ours to lose. The schedule is now definitely a little harder than it was the first time, but the team is deep. They believe they're getting to that point where they're in their groove, and a lot of the games we've been winning have been without our top players. So I think as long as we keep this team mentality strong, it's ours to lose, personally. I mean, there's no one right now that has the consistency that we've been playing with, to be honest.
Okay. So I think they win supporter shield, but then they choke in the playoffs, kind of like the bubble.
that is generally the curse. But for us, I honestly just want Champions League next year. I almost would take Champions League over MLS Cup. That sounds weird, but like I'm trying not to put that pressure on MLS Cup,
Yeah.
It's a whole new season to get there. We'll see.
Nah.
Who do you have winning it? Who do you have winning MLS Cup?
Seattle repeat probably. I don't know. It's weird this season. I feel like this season's a wash, so.
Yeah. That's the other thing. That's why I feel like I'm not putting that much on MLS Cup because it doesn't feel like a real season. Like if we win it, everyone's gonna be like, your season was short, or so and so wasn't strong. Like, we'll see.
Well, we got a lot to unpack. L, hit us.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, so first up, top 25 players in the U.S. Men's National Team Player Pool. So NBC Sports dropped recently their rankings of the top 25 players, top 25 potential U.S. players who are in the player pool. So these are players that Greg Berhalter can select from. So the criteria here is the ranking is meant to illustrate who would be most likely to positively affect the U.S. Men's National Team match, regardless of the manager or teammates. Health doesn't matter to the rankings. If they're currently injured, it's not something that's going to drastically affect their rankings. Age, potential, experience doesn't matter either. At least not that much. Is how likely you are to contribute to the team if you're put on the field right now. So obviously, Conrad de la Fuente is a better long-term prospect, but you're probably going to throw Josie Altidore on there, on the field before you throw him on, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna run down the list real quick, and then I'm gonna get you guys' thoughts on how you think they stacked up, how they ranked up. So number one on the list, obviously, Christian Pulisic. His previous rank was number one as well. Tyler Adams is number two. He's up from fourth. Weston McKennie is number three. He dropped down from number two. John Brooks, he's number four. He dropped down from number three. Giovanni Reyna is up from 13. So he's ranked fifth right now. Jordan Morris, number six. He's up from the eighth place. Serginho Dest at number 7, he dropped down from 5. Josh Sargent is number 8. He's up from number 18. Zach Steffen, number 9. He was number 9 previously. Got Anthony Robinson from Fulham at number 10. He stays where he's at. Tim Way is at number 11, and he's up from 14th. Then you got Tyler Boyd at number 12. He's up from 21st. You have Julian Green at 13. He's down from 12th. You got Sebastian Legit at 14. He's up from 25th. Alfredo Morales is number 15, and he's down from 7. Jossie Zardes at 16, and he wasn't ranked before, so this is his first time on the list. Matt Miazga, number 17, he stayed where he is. Cameron Carter-Vickers at 18, and he's up from 20. Darlington Nagbe at 19, and he wasn't previously on the list. Reggie Cannon at 20, he wasn't previously on the list. Brendan Aronson at 21, he's also a newcomer. Matt Turner at 22, newcomer. Aaron Long at 23, a newcomer. Tim Ream at 24, he dropped down from 13th. And Henry Wingo is 25th, and he wasn't previously ranked. I don't even know who that is. So what are you guys' reactions to this list? Who do you think should be ranked higher or lower? Tyler, you can go first.
For me right now, honestly, like my big surprise is Robinson being that high, still top 10. I know he was out for a while with the heart issue, if I remember correctly. So to see him stick around in there, and it surprises me, especially when I feel like his last couple runs out with the national team, everyone was talking about how he was just like almost exposed every game. And it could have been just because of like the opponents as well, but I'm always surprised to see him stick around there. I think the potential is there. I just need to see games in and out from him at this new level that he's at. That's my biggest surprise. I'm actually surprised that they dropped McKinney down. You know, I'm thinking that he could have still been too, personally. Like, especially if his new digs, he's starting for Pirlo, which that could be a whole nother story. Pirlo got to feel his way out, but I think that says something that he came in there. He was a late transfer and is starting, so they have plans for him. He'll be playing week in and week out. It looks like so. Those are my two biggest that stand out. And then I guess I do have to throw to the Columbus guys. Zardes, I think like I've seen a lot of back and forth between the Josie and Zardes competition. And in my opinion, they're such different players. It's not fair to compare them. Josie's definitely a more of a stand-up player. Back to goal, connects really well. Physical, obviously. Zardes is more cerebral. His movement gets you. He's definitely let's finish off the movement instead of like working to make it happen. His game has improved to where he does track back, he defends. But I just don't know if that conversation even should be had. I feel like they're just such different players, and you can't just go with one or the other. It depends on what you're looking at. Nagbe, I think, is honestly right now the best American player we have besides Pulisic, but I don't think he puts on national team colors. It's up to him. If he has an open invitation, he just hasn't been taking it. So those are my thoughts. Ranted.
Yeah, what you think, Amobi?
Yeah, I think there's a lot wrong with this list. Nagbe got to be higher for sure. He's top 5. He's top 5 for sure. I'll put him probably at the 5th spot. Because if I'm running a midfield, I'm putting him at deep line 6, Tyler and Weston in front of him. That midfield's doing damage. They definitely disrespected U.S. captain Michael Bradley. I'm not gonna say he's should be top 20, but you got Henry Wingo, who was barely playing for Seattle. Now he's playing in Scandinavia. He don't need to be in this. No disrespect to him, but you got a player like Bradley. DeAndre Yedlin's not on this list. That's a World Cup, veteran. I know they said experience doesn't matter, but he's playing in the Premier League, consistently. Who else would I switch around? Chris Richards. Chris Richards, young guy from Bayern Munich. He's getting minutes. He's a top prospect. I'd actually put him over Cameron Carter-Vickers. I'd put him over Aaron Long. I'd even put him over Tim Ream in terms of someone that's going to help the team right away. Matt Turner's a good goal stopper. The list is all right. Yeah. You could switch around some positioning. Where is they don't even have Josie on the list. What kind of I'm not gonna go into an international match. I'm not trusting Josh when I have Josie. Yeah, Josie's not on the list, and Josie and Josh are on it. That's a crime. Yeah. This list needs a lot of changes. I think there's a lot of hype on this list, and they said like the rules are age, potential, and experience doesn't matter. But you see this list, and you could tell there's some hype to it.
So you see Sebastian Lletget on there, and I know he's been doing well with the Galaxy, but the Galaxy themselves haven't been good. He's just had some moments that make top 10. You know what I mean? Like and stuff. I don't see him in the U.S. national team picture doing that day in and day out. Does that make any sense? So.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I'm going to like a World Cup or a Confederations Cup or something like that, I'm not picking some of these guys on that roster.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably should have named it like top 25 young players in the pool or something like that, or like fringe players, or for the next generation or something.
Exactly.
I agree with you with that. So speaking of young players, let's get into the 2020 Golden Boy Award. So if you're not familiar, this is an award for the best young player in Europe, and they've narrowed down the list. It's always been a long list. Who won it last year again? Was it João Felix? Or was he the year before?
I believe it was João Felix or Haaland, right?
I think it's Felix. Okay. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. So I have a short list. I saw this on Twitter, actually, like of the top 5. And it left number 1 and 2 off. So that'll be up for debate right now. So starting at 5, we have Sandro Tonali from Italy. I've never heard of him. I'm not sure who he plays for.
He's the young Pirlo. That's what they call him, the young Pirlo.
Yeah.
Young Pirlo, yeah. Okay. We got Ansu Fati, my countryman, from Guinea-Bissau. It says Spain, but he's from Guinea-Bissau. We got it.
Let it be known.
Speaking of that, happy Independence Day to Guinea-Bissau today. Then we got number 3, Jadon Sancho from England. And then who do you guys have for number 2? Or we have 2 and 1 up for grabs. So Amobi, I'll let you go first. Who do you have for 1 and 2?
So for context, João Felix won it last year. He won it. He beat Jadon Sancho. So I'll go him number 2. Number 1, Eric Haaland. He came onto the scene and did numbers. So I think that's how it's going to run. João Felix at number 2, Eric Haaland at number 1. That's my pick.
Okay. What you say, Tyler?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to say the same. I feel like Sancho lost out last year because of Felix's year, but I think he gets it this year if Haaland just didn't come out of almost nowhere. I mean, after the U20 World Cup, he just hasn't stopped being in the news. I think the one person I'm surprised that didn't make this short list was Davies. To come from MLS and then to step onto the team and then Bundesliga, their Cup and Champions League, and start pretty much almost all of it. And it wasn't like he just was just serviceable. He was doing work. I'm surprised he's not at least top 10.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Davies. He's actually going to be my number 1.
Yeah,
he'll be my number 1 with the type of year that he had. Champions League winner, Bundesliga winner. Yep. He was a standout on that team, impact player.
He did well. I don't know why he's not in that top at least 7, put 7 at least.
Yeah, you guys might be right. I might have to change my pickup. Nah, because Felix is still eligible, right? Yeah, so nah. Wow, yeah. Yeah.
Because boy, did work.
I would go.
I thought he would do.
Yeah, I would go Haaland 2, Davies 1.
I think at the end of the year, I think Haaland gets it, but I think Davies 100% is in the conversation.
Davies hasn't got picked yet, or Felix hasn't got picked yet. Neither of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you can't toss any of those 3 out. That's why I'm understanding who makes this list.
That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I found the list on Twitter, so it may have been just somebody's top 5. It may not be the official.
Yeah. So we'll rock with it. So
yeah, we'll go from there. All right, so next up, we got this Neymar Puma deal. So Neymar and the landmark deal switched up from Nike, jumped over to Puma for the bag. He actually has he signed the highest individual endorsement deal for a soccer player with Puma. So he's making roughly over 20 million a year, which is actually higher, 20 million euros per year, which is actually higher than Messi's deal at Adidas and higher than Ronaldo's deal at Nike. So he's leaving Nike after 15 years, become a marquee name over at Puma. So who's most at risk here? Is it Puma giving that much money during a pandemic year, during a down year, or is it Neymar switching over to a lesser known brand? Well, it's not a lesser known brand, but it's not as popular when it comes to Nike and Adidas. So who do you think? I'm gonna go with you, Tyler, first.
I honestly think it's Puma is the one that's taking the bigger risk. Neymar knows his skill. He knows that he's going to always be sought after. As long as things keep, on the trajectory that he's on, it's Puma. They needed that splash to catch up to the big two. He provides that. I think what will be interesting is moving forward in this like post-COVID world. How do they activate it? Like, how do they activate his partnership sponsorship? I think that would be where we see how well it pays off. As an individual, he's going to be okay. It's Puma in this unique opportunity to make Puma be back in your limelight during a time where like eyes are on the sport in a completely different way than they were 10 months ago. That's where I think it's at.
Yeah.
What you say, Moby?
Yeah, Puma's taking the risk. I mean, once Puma offered me that deal, if I'm Neymar, I would have signed that thing so fast. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So for Neymar, it's the right decision. Until Messi and Ronaldo retire, he's always going to be that third guy. So for him to go to Puma, it's like, all right, let me create my own lane. And I think Puma's betting on him to, kind of be that guy once Messi and Ronaldo start to wind down. I think they're really betting big on post-COVID. You got Copa America and then you got World Cup. Brazil's probably on the short list as being one of the front runners for the next World Cup and Copa America. So to have that global exposure is going to be really big. And I think they can do some really cool activations, like Tyler said. It just depends how they go about it and if they're strategic in what they want to do. Because Neymar's a global figure. He's playing for PSG, one of the most sauciest brands and clubs in the world. So they're going to be able to do some really cool things.
Yeah, I agree. I think Puma's at risk only because of the money and because of it being a down year economically. But I think it's a win-win for both of them. Like Puma gets the needed elevation. Neymar gets to be the man, as he's always wanted to be, which is why he moved to PSG in the first place.
Yeah.
I don't think he was anticipating Mbappe being there, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a win-win for both of them. I'm excited to see like what the team does over there, if they can kind of like level Puma up from like a lifestyle perspective. I know he's not signed to Rock Nation or anything, but you got Jay-Z and them over there as well in the building, so I can see some collaboration happening over there as well.
And isn't he also? Nope. Scratch that. I'm thinking about his whole deal. Think about the whole MJ thing, but that's with Nike.
No more Nike. You can't say that around him.
You're done.
Yep. All right. So moving on. So we're starting to see a lot more American soccer dollars filtering into European soccer as of lately. Wealthy Americans are pouring their money into European soccer. So to date, Americans own at least 1/5 of the top teams in the UK, France, and Italy. So just recently, Kyle Krause of Come and Go convenience store, just purchased a controlling stake in Roma. David Friedkin, an owner of a network of Toyota dealerships, recently purchased Roma for $693 million. Kyle Krause purchased a controlling stake in Parma. Excuse me. U.S. investor Joseph De Grossa is in talk to purchase English Premier League club Southampton for around $200 million. So in the last 18 months, you've seen American takeovers of Italy's Fiorentina as well as France's Toulouse. So driving this flurry of deals is a belief that European soccer offers better value than the U.S. sports market, according to Pacific Media Group co-founder Paul Conway, whose firm owns teams on the continent. And to quote, he says, investing in American sports is very expensive and at high valuations. Conway also says, noting that professional baseball and basketball teams in the U.S. fetch at least $1 billion. That's like a buy-in. And De Grossa, who I mentioned earlier, also mentioned that he wants to build a platform model like City Football Group. So he says he wants to create a football platform that can go public and attract institutional investors and get multi-billion-dollar valuations. And he sees investing in Europe as that ticket in. So what are you guys' reactions to this? Like, why do you think this capital isn't being poured into the U.S. market, especially when it comes to independent teams? So like, I see the roadblock when it comes to MLS and those valuations, but there's also another lane there. If these guys pour $200 million into, a brand new independent team and help build NISA up, that could be a whole other lane. You can have big clubs on that side with stadiums, et cetera, and attract TV deals, and you can kind of build it from scratch. So like, I think there's a higher ceiling there, but I'll let you guys kind of speak. So Tyler, let me know what you think.
Yeah, honestly, you hit on the nail there. There's more flexibility and more upside. MLS is still obviously growing, but the single entity structure obviously does kind of handcuff you a little bit the way that your money works in the league. With these other teams overseas, your entity is that team. So decisions you make can directly affect your bottom dollar, if that makes any sense. And also with the league set up and notoriety over there, I mean, you've got TV deals, which are massive. You've got Champions League, your team makes it, is massive. The upside is just way higher. The ceiling's higher over there, and it just makes sense to do it. I would love to see if MLS restructured somehow that money could play a part in the U.S. But right now, if you're looking pure business, that's where you go.
Yeah, it's just too many hoops to go through if you're trying to build in the U.S. market. Building an already established team in Europe, you don't have to worry about building from the ground up. You don't have to worry about negotiating TV deals from the ground up, and there's more incentive in the sense of Champions League, Europa League promotion. All these different entities that are already established. It makes sense for American investors, Chinese investors, rich investors to spend money in these organizations. And then the fact that you can sell and transfer players much easier, and there's an established scouting system. It only makes sense. The only option I would do outside of it would be buy a feeder team in Portugal or France or Argentina or something, where I can just build almost like a factory and build a team up, sell, buy, sell, over and over again.
Yeah,
and I don't think my bad. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I would say if US had that, I think it would be almost as attractive. It's that buy sell thing. Literally, it's not as easy to even transfer a player or procure a player in the MLS. There's so many hoops to go through. If you see something attractive in France, you can just go out and make it happen as long as the dollar's right. There's not much really stopping you.
Yeah. So what I was about to say is, those are definitely very valid points. But like we kind of mentioned last week when we had G-Day and Evan on from Maryland Bobcats, the market is wide open on the independent side, especially with what NISA is trying to build. They're trying to build a pyramid, their own independent pyramid. So pro rail in that lane. And they got a nice little TV deal with BN to host their tournament. So I think there's potential over there. I feel like if it was the right amount of investment, that could possibly be a pretty decent lane. And also you can, start developing those players outside of the MLS system and still sell them off to Europe, still, make money that way as well.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. It's a possibility, but you would need more owners and more investors to get involved and not just be a one-off. Unless you have buku money and you're about to be all right, I'm investing in 4 or 5 different teams and we're just going to grow it from the ground up. Kind of like MLS did in 96 or 95, 96, but then have a whole different structure. So it's easier to or quicker to grow. It's going to be harder to maintain, but it's going to be quicker to grow. And that model, being able to invest in the community, buy and sell players, and then negotiate without any hamstrings. It would be good. I would like GD said last week, if I had that money, I would invest in a USL and NISA team way before an MLS squad.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see how that pans out. Hopefully some of these guys, begin to see the potential in the independent model and they they start swinging some of that money this way, because I think we could definitely use it, and it'll definitely accelerate the growth of the game, here in the country.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
let's see
it's
what
funny.
happens.
It's like with all the expansion too, you almost wonder like they have to be. You would think they'd have to be looking at a restructuring at some point, because the people that want to come into MLS with money, but they get kind of turned off by the structures. I feel like there's going to be a restructuring in the next 5 years. There's got to be something, because they're almost holding this up back. If that makes sense.
Yeah, you're going to see more groups get involved instead of individual owners or individual investors, like private equity firms, like kind of how they're doing it in Europe now.
Yeah, that's what the American companies are doing. It's like these private equity firms, or like these guys who have groups or leading groups going over there buying these Italian clubs, and I mean, bro, like you're grabbing Southampton for 200 mil. You can't even get into MLS for 200 mil.
It's crazy.
And Southampton plays in the top league in the country, or in the world, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. It's crazy.
And they could double their money just one run. All it takes is 1 year to make a Champions League. They could double their money, or double the value of the team.
Yeah.
So,
think about it from that perspective. It's a no-brainer, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It literally, like, you spelled it out. You're just like, why would you even entertain it at that point? No. Overseas.
I mean, unless you're like El's been saying past episodes, and even on guest episodes that we've been on, if you want to invest the real estate play being in America, like that's why some have tended to stay here and invest in MLS teams here, because the real estate play around having a multi-purpose venue in a strategic city or strategic location is a good investment long term. So who knows?
Yeah, for sure. So let's jump into one of our favorite segments of the show, No Card, Yellow Card, Red Card. It's a rapid fire segment where we'll kind of read off a couple of topics that may not have had the full breadth or the full deep analysis to be a main topic, but we still wanted to touch on it. So, and we'll use our typical soccer rating system. So no card obviously is I agree with it, I'm cool with that idea, or thumbs up for me. Yellow card is I'm in the middle, I agree, or I don't agree. I can go either way. And red card obviously is foul, you're out, I disagree, I'm not cool with it. All right, so we got 3 topics today. First one, no card, yellow card, red card. SERGINO DEST in a potential move to Barca.
No card. Barca calls. Oh, hence why you're wearing the jersey today. Respect. I even see the game. Yeah, there's certain teams. There's like 5 teams that call your name. You just have to go to. It doesn't matter what capacity. Barca is one of those teams. So no card for me.
Yeah, no card. I'll be honest. I love Barcelona. I kind of wish that he was going to Bayern. So I heard they were in it as well. And only reason because of just we don't know what the fallout's going to be in a year when Messi actually leaves. You know what I mean? Like there could be a whole just stumbling block of shenanigans. We don't know. And I wouldn't want a young American to be caught in the bureaucracy of it. But as Amobi said, it's Barcelona. That crest is recognizable. You get your name on that. Nike for sure is like, please get on that today. So yeah, no card.
Okay. So next up, no card, yellow card, red card. Frank de Boer takes over as manager of the Netherlands. What do you say, Tyler?
Yeah. Yellow card. So here's the thing. Holland's Netherlands have been one of my favorite teams to watch. De Boer's tactics are definitely conservative, but they quote unquote work as long as there's the right players. That country does love him. I think he'll have success, but I do think the team will play a style of football that won't be as attractive as it's been. And in sports, it is entertainment. I don't think we'll be as entertained, but he might get them some third place finishes, maybe a second place. I don't know if I'll be super excited to watch him though. So I'm a yellow card in that. And I'm still holding against him what he did to Atlanta. I can't believe he burnt that place down. I'm still mad about it. So
burnt the place down and got a national team job. Look at him. But hey, if you're Atlanta, that's a good track record. Like Tata left, got the Mexico job. the BOER left, got the Netherlands job. Hey, next manager, if you want a national team job, come to Atlanta. Yep.
I'll give it a yellow card. I think, him being a soccer legend for his home country, he's always going to get an opportunity back home. He's going to have I don't want to say better Rolodex of players, but he's going to have a group of players that understand his kind of style. His Dutch, even though it's conservative, it's still like a Dutch style when you break it down. He was successful at Ajax, the home country, even though it's club level. So hopefully he could be successful at the national team level. I think he's going to do well. Right now, you got a good pool of talent for the Dutch, and he doesn't have to be with them every day. So I think his players won't get annoyed with his tactics or his overbearing style. I know if he doesn't do well, Mourinho's going to be up in his grill, and also a couple of Atlanta fans. But I think he'll do all right. He got Euros, and depending on how he does, World Cup as well. So we'll see. He can probably get himself back on track too.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes. Best of luck to him. He seemed like a cool dude, but he just kind of buzzkilled our team. So
yeah, it's tough when you got to follow Tata. Tata is like it's tough to follow that.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you could have did like a better job than burning it down. Like you could have, the man went in there and just shackled everybody. I am actually hurt. I'm not even an Atlanta fan. I'm so hurt about it. I like watching those games, and let's move on to the next one. I'm hurt right now.
All right, so last one. No card, yellow card, red card. Luis Suarez is accused of cheating on his Italian exam. So for context, Luis Suarez had to take an exam to get an Italian passport so that he could transfer to the Serie A team, right? So he's been accused of cheating on said exam. What are your thoughts?
And he's not even going to the team?
No.
Yeah, that's the funny thing too. Well, Suarez is a born cheater. As much as I hate him, I gotta respect him because he's a baller though, and that's just like his style. Like he's willing to die on the field and sacrifice. He'll rob his own family to like make sure he gets a win. So I can respect that. But yeah, red card. Like what do you need to cheat for?
Yeah. I'd say same thing, red card. It's very on brand for him. But we gotta respect what he's doing. Didn't he end up at Atletico? Is that where he's at?
Yeah, he's going to Atletico.
Yeah.
So I feel like to me it's a red card because you cheated and still didn't make it work out. You know what I mean? Like it's like the same thing, like the handball on the line, like he just became a villain, the bite, like he just does the most. So this is adding to his little Rolodex of shenanigans, so red card.
Yeah. But Suarez, Simeone, and Costa, imagine the violence over there at Atleti coming up, man. It's like the level of violence just increased.
I feel bad
massively.
I feel bad for defenders.
You just get bodied. It's just, I'm going to tune in just for the carnage.
With João Felix underneath too? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it should be exciting. So it's something kind of new that we've done at the beginning of the Premier League season this year. So since week one, we've kind of did our match predictions. So we're going to do our match predictions now for Premier League week 3. I'm only going to cover the big 6 teams in the Premier League. So we'll run it down, get you guys predictions of who do you think will win. So we have Brighton and Man United first up.
Man U win.
Yeah, I missed their first game, but I would say Man U. Yeah.
You gotta have a bounce back game.
Okay, I mean it is Brighton. You got your boy Tariq Lamptey out there balling out.
Yeah,
Brighton. Hey, they can sneak up.
Versus the rest of the team. They'll sneak up and do something good, but I think overall the structure of Man U will overwhelm them, and it'll be like a simple 2-0. But
okay, next up we got West Brom and Chelsea. I already know what Amobi gonna say.
Yeah, you don't even have to ask me. Go on, Chelsea.
Yeah, they're gonna do work. I'm excited to see. Are you guys having Pulisic back this week or the next week?
I think next week.
Next week, okay. Chelsea will win this game, but I'm excited to see them integrate him back in. Not that they gave him the 10, like they actually want him to be that person. I want to see what it looks like, just that mentality unlocked all the way. Y'all might
And
do
we
something.
finally got our goalie too. Oh,
Don't needed that.
what a transfer.
So with Pulisic's wearing 10, is he going to play centrally now, or is it just symbolic?
Nah, it's symbolic. He's just gonna play still at that left winger role.
Yeah.
Converted.
All right. Bet. All right. Next up, we got Tottenham Newcastle. I already know what Ty's going to say. As a Spud fan.
Yeah, we have to win because I can't do another loss this early in the season. So we are going to win because we have to.
Yeah, I think Tottenham with all the new signings, you guys gonna win.
Okay. We got Man City, Leicester.
That's always a fun game. Man. I'm gonna say 2-2 draw.
Oh, nah, Man City's winning that. Especially if Ndidi's still playing center back. I don't know why he's been playing there. But yeah, Man City's going with that.
Okay. And in prime time, last game, Monday Night Football, we got Liverpool, Arsenal.
Yeah. This one's gonna be a good one. I think Arsenal takes it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. As much as I don't want to say it, I think Arsenal takes it.
It's a good take.
Yeah, because Liverpool's been looking shaky. I don't know if they're tired or they got winner's fatigue or whatever is going on over there.
Tired.
Yeah,
I'm tired. I'm gonna go for another draw though. I'm gonna say a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, Liverpool is still dangerous no matter what it is, and we got to go to Anfield. So, you know,
Anfield with no fans though.
True. It's a toss up, but you already know what my pick is. So.
Yeah.
In Arteta, we trust.
There it is.
All right, and that's it. That's all for this week.
Yeah. So that's our show for this week. Thanks, Tyler, for coming on. Friend of the family. Family of the show. I said friend of the family. I don't know if that is like a phrase, but yeah, subscribe, rate, and review. It helps us get discovered. Follow us on the socials at 2Cents FC. Check out our merch at 2centsports.shop. It helps support the show. As you can see, L's rocking the hat. We got the scarf. We got the pins. We got some other merch coming in soon. And then tweet us your comments on the show and any topics you want me or El to discuss. We don't hold back. Anything you guys want us to discuss, we discuss it. No bias, except when it comes to Arsenal and Chelsea. So catch you guys later.
Peace.
Peace.